So where can I see those recorded levels for chase Bob? I would see that in my soft keys. For the effect soft keys, I'm going to look for the button called chase, and that's going to open up my chase editor. Above, we can see the channels that are included in that chase. The vertical lines show us where those part breaks are. We have 3 parts. These 2 lights together, these 2 lights together, these 2 lights together. And down here, I have all the settings for the chase itself. So the direction, forward, it's running in the order we wrote it, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. In here, I can make the chase run backwards. I can make it bounce back and forth, or I can make it play back these 3 steps in a random order. My style options include positive, which means the lights stay at a low level and pop up to a high level. Negative, which means they start at a high level and drop out. Or build, which means they're going to pile on as they go until they reach the end, shut off, and start over again. So I can make these changes to chase Bob, and they'll stick until I change them again. I can set some top-level times. The loop time is going to tell me how long does it take to get through all 3 steps. In this case, it takes 3 seconds because we have a 1-second step time. If I make a change to this, it's going to stretch those step times so it takes that amount of time to go from the first part all the way to the last part in this particular chase. The in, dwell, and out times, if I make changes at this level, it's going to change all steps in the same way. So if I want to ripple, for example, I can change the times here, and now every step will take 1 second to fade in, will stay on for 1 second, and then fade out in a half a second. I have 2 rate values in a chase effect, and that's the minimum and maximum rates. So what I can do here is I can say, make this whole chase run 3 times faster. And every time I run chase Bob, it will run with this new rate applied. I can still tap in a tempo, but it's going to always give me a result that's 3 times faster. I can put this back to 100. Now it's again running at recorded times. And I can come in here and say my maximum rate, for example, will be 500. And my minimum rate will be 50. And now what's going to happen is every single time a step plays back, it's going to get a random value between 50% and 500% rate and give me, again, a much more syncopated or uneven playback of that particular chase. Once again, very good for things like water reflections, fires, that sort of thing. And to get those back, once again, simply set those numbers back to 100. If I want to go into each step and make individual changes, I can simply hit modify on the steps cell, and I get this editor. And now I'm looking at each individual step of this chase, and I can make changes to what channels are included using standard selection syntax. So I just added channel 51, 51 plus. I can say 42 minus, and it's removing from step 1 because that's the one that's highlighted. If I want to see in step 2, I simply arrow down. Now I have 43 and 44. I could say, no, that's not what I want. I want 52, and I want 44 to go away. So 52 plus, 44 minus. And now I'm adjusting which channels are in each particular step manually instead of using the wizard. I can then also manually adjust every step time, every in time, dwell time, and out time on every single step. I can also adjust the high and low levels on every step. So here's where you can really customize that chase to make it your fire, your lightning, your television flicker, your water reflection, or simply your intensity chase. We can use the chase editor to create chase objects blind. So I'm going to hit insert, and I can select a new group. I'll pick my points. And in this case, I just selected the group on a master, but you could type it in on a keypad as well. I have a bunch of lights selected, and I'm going to say I want 6 parts, and we'll do symmetrical just for fun. And so now I've made a 6-part chase, and I'm going to give it a name, George. So there's Bob, there's George, and we'll do a negative simple chase, just so you see differences between the two. And I'm going to close this list. You'll notice Bob is still running up here doing whatever it is Bob is doing now. And when I go back to effect number 2, now I can come down into my parameter controls, and you'll see there's 2 possibilities. Chase Bob, what we're running now, and Chase George, which looks very different. So make that faster. And you can see now my spotlights are blinking, and some of them have gobos and some of them don't. But this effect doesn't care because all it's doing is intensity controls. You'll also notice that the wash lights have disappeared. And the reason for that is that one chase playback can only play one chase object at a time. If I have a situation where I need to play both Chase Bob and Chase George at the same time, I need to insert another chase effect. Now, this time I just need the playback. I don't need to go through the wizard again. So we'll do that. We'll select both of those chase playbacks and bring them up. And now I can say effect 3, instead of playing Bob, should play George at some speed. Chase effect 2, I can give a totally different rate. And so now I can control these two independent chases completely separately, or I can synchronize them by tapping both of them together. And now they both have the same tapped value, and they're both matching whatever music it is that's playing in my head. To select my effect playbacks, all I have to type is, in this case, 2 effect, 3 plus, and that selects both of them at the same time. If I'm using at mode, I just turn that around and I say effect 2 plus 3 dot dot, and that will select both of them at the same time. So these are chase effect playbacks, intensity only, designed to be created, adjusted, then left alone and played back the same way every time, perhaps with different speeds, but the basic design of the chase is always the same. One last note about effect playbacks. Now that I'm happy with this particular look, I need to record it somewhere. I can record it into a preset that I'm going to play back in my main sequence if I'm doing a theater show. I could record these chase playbacks into a preset I put onto a master if I'm doing a more on-the-fly show. So let's do that. I'm going to record them into this preset. I'll give them a name, chases. And now, if I home these guys, they're going to go back to the first chase in the list and a rate of 100, and I can bring up that master and get that combined look back with all of its settings and all of its rate values. So it's very important to remember to always record your effects somewhere once you've got them set up the way you want so that you can ensure that they play back correctly the next time. And those are chase effects.